to South Africa, where the Electoral Court has ruled that former President Jacob Zuma can run for office as a lawmaker in the upcoming election, overturning a decision which earlier barred him from contesting the polls. The decision paves the way for Mr. Zuma to run for president on the platform of his party, a new political organization he joined last year after denouncing the ruling African National Congress Party that he once led. The Independent Electoral Commission had earlier ruled that Jacob Zuma could not run for office due to his criminal record after it received an objection against his candidature. South Africa's constitution doesn't allow people who have been convicted of a crime and sentenced to more than 12 months in prison without the option of a fine stand for elections as lawmakers. Well, for more on this, I'm joined by National Deputy President, Nigerian Citizens Association in South Africa. He joins me live on the program. Thank you for joining us this hour. Quickly, let's begin with what the reaction has been thus far in South Africa with this unprecedented judgment.
Thank you so much for having me once again. It's been a landmark. One thing we can give it to the South African judiciary is the independence and their ability to look at issues without any necessary interference. With this judgment, you could see that Jacob Zuma can actually run back and go to parliament if get elected. And don't forget that the IEC, after the ruling, have requested that they would like to know why or how the Electoral Court arrived at that. But that be it, Jacob Zuma right now is cleared and can be the face of his political party right now.
Has he personally declared his interest to run again?
The truth is, you cannot take the person of Jacob Zuma from being the face of the political party. And let us digress a little to look at the political party can actually go into the election with or without him, but we cannot write off the influence of former President Jacob Zuma as a former president and his influence around the country. So he hasn't really openly declared, but you know how it works here. The election is about electing over 400 members of parliament, and afterwards, the member of parliament would then have to elect who becomes the president of the country. So right now, it's all about him being cleared to stand for election as a member of parliament.
So what happens, there is what happens in court with all the many allegations of corruption against him, but what is the corruption perception? What's the perception of Jacob Zuma amongst the generality of the citizens in South Africa?
Yeah, I think I would look at that issue based on from which angle or who is saying this. He tends to command a good number of supporters and influence among the people, especially from the KZN where he's from. And again, like I said, he's been a former president. He tends to command great influence in the country. Now, corruption perception depends on who is looking at this. Again, if I recall what his lawyer did put forward in his argument, these are mere allegations. As it stands right now, he's not been convicted, even though he was sentenced. His lawyer put up an argument that he was never given a free opportunity to hear, so there was no free trial. I'm not a legal expert, so I cannot really lay hold to what the legal implication to that could be. But what we see right now is there's still mere allegation that he's corrupt and all of those allegations against him. But for now, he's clear to lead his party, and definitely he's going to be the face of the party to lead his party in the election.
How is his former party, the ANC, that they fell out with earlier on, reacting to this latest development?
But of course, you see, it's not going to be something that is well accepted. These were people who wine, dine together They currently are on different political side. They never tend to agree right now as it stands. Now, I wouldn't say that news came like something they were expecting, judging from the Secretary General, Balule Fikile's postulation about Jacob Zuma being corrupt, this, all of that. But the party itself sees and understands the influence. Don't forget, Jacob is a strategist, is a tactician. So he tends to have taken them unaware. But how do you think the ANC would respond to this? Pushing forward or pushing further might look like something that is being desperate for them to stop him. And again, this is not about them. This was the IEC kind of disqualify him. So it's not something that comes on a positive light for them. However, I think this is something they have to deal with, that Jacob Zuma will be on the ballot come May 29.
I guess time will tell whether Mr. Zuma still has the energy and the goodwill of the people to run and win again in elections. Oscar Metwa is the National Deputy President, Natural Citizens Association, South Africa. He joins us live from Cape Town. Good to see you, Oscar.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
And that's the world.